What is up, yo? It is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review. By the way, the fan above the stove is on way across the room. I'm not getting up to shut it off. Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7. It was good. And I'm sure you're going to have a bunch of people, a bunch of these channels like RK Outpost, all these. They're going to, because of how bad that last episode was, that's the green light to everything Mandalorian sucks. Everything Mandalorian is terrible. The show's beyond saving, yada, yada, yada. And that's what's lame about those channels, that if something's good, they'll never admit it. They'll never go back. They just want everything bad so they have stuff to report on. And I'm not going to lie. Look at my reviews, and I don't really care about views, or else I would take this a little bit more seriously. But look at the reviews for the episodes of this season that actually were positive about. Look at the views. Now look at the views, the drastic difference from the last episode. That was terrible. So that's what they based their whole life on, and I'm sure it's just going to be just this show is garbage. Next season is going to be garbage, whatever. But this was a good episode. I could sit there and nitpick. I'll bring up the couple of nitpick things. Number one, in the end, and I'm not going to go through the whole episode, for you. You watched it. You've seen it. But in the end, when they're behind the blast door and Moff Gideon is like, yada, 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 and they just start, the Mandalorians, they just start unloading on the closed blast door. That's the whole point of a blast door. You can't blast through it. But they're shooting at a door that they can't get through. And then Moff Gideon is like, raise the door, let's start shooting. Why not just aim your guns at the door and then when it raises, start shooting? That doesn't make any sense. And also, we've seen from several different things, even in Star Wars, that sometimes if you shoot at, a closed door or an enclosed area, that the bolts are going to ricochet off. So that didn't happen, but it just seemed careless, like they didn't think it out. It was just dumb. Also, what's his name? Carlo, whatever, the guy that plays Moff Gideon. I've never liked his acting style. He's just smug in a corny way. You'll have actors that will have the whole smug, I feel like I'm above everybody, and like Brian Cox, actors like that, where it just comes off natural, it's believable. He's just always had a level of corniness. And I know somebody's gonna be like, well, did you watch Breaking Bad? No, because what was it, the end of season 3 or the beginning of season 3, maybe the end of season 2, when they started with because the show, and I'm just totally veering off into something else, but when what's his name? Heisenberg, whatever. When he was saying that he had cancer and he had to do this, I felt that was a great thing to add to the show. It added some urgency to it. It gave him a reason for doing what he was doing and why he was doing it at that level. But then all of a sudden they're just like, oh wait a second. He's got the fun cancer. He doesn't have the bad cancer. So yay, he's going to survive. And I just thought that was cornball. I thought, like, once you set the rules, stick to the rules, especially if it's successful for you and you have people interested. Once you start changing the rules midway through the game or just throwing the rules completely out the window, nothing means nothing. There's no stakes. It's nothing. So I don't care. You can bring up, Breaking Bad. I don't really care about it. I'm talking about what he's doing right now with this show. I just think for the main villain, bring in, and they're not going to in this show, but bring in Thrawn, because they've already brought him up, but they're not going to. Maybe in the end, before they set up that movie that they're going to have to wrap all these shows up, they'll have him come in this show, but we're not going to get it. We're going to be stuck with this lame the whole time. The whole Darth Vader Mandalorian suit, I don't like it. It reminds me of when Jordans, if you're into sneakers, Jordan started doing this thing where they would blend like two different Jordans, like the Jordan 3 with the Jordan 11 or something like that. And it just looked terrible. That's exactly what that reminded me of. If you're not into sneakers, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But if you are, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It was just terrible. Also, again, I'm seeing way too much, and I'm talking about screen composition, the way the blocking is. I'm seeing way too much of Bo-Katan being the prominent figure in the screen when you're watching a scene. And there was a scene where they were on the whole the pirate ship thing. I don't know exactly, pirate glider, whatever it is, where they're looking up at something and you see it's Bo-Katan and Baby Yoda and his new mech robot looking up at something in the sky. And the Mandalorian is off to the left. You know what I'm saying? He's almost an afterthought in that little quick scene there. And you know, I mean, you can nitpick about it, but that is true. This has turned into the Bo-Katan show, and we don't really want that. At least I don't. At least most of the people don't. You know, it's the Mandalorian. Like I said before, I wish they would stick to the main story. It seems like they completely abandoned it, and I really don't understand what his goal with sticking with these people are. He was a bounty hunter. He rescued Baby Yoda. He was on the run from people that were after him, but also trying to find his home and where he belongs. Somehow, none of those things remain in this show anymore. No bounty hunting, him not being chased anymore, as far as I can tell. They just gave up. They're just like, all right, well, we're just gonna not chase him and try to get the little kid anymore. They don't care about that. And he hasn't. You ever get something stuck in your throat? You do the weird voice. That's what just happened. But also trying to find, you know, Yoda's home, Baby Yoda's home. I don't feel like this is one of those mysteries, because I know there's a lot of people like with like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster, and they're like, oh, I hope they never, if they do exist, I hope they never find him, because the whole mystery is awesome. The whole what if they're out there is it. I agree to things like that, but with this, I feel like it's gone on far enough to where we need some kind of answers. You know, I would like to know about Yoda's species. I would like to know, you know, because to me personally, I feel like that's going to be an uncharted space. And with Thrawn coming back and Ezra coming back, I feel like they're going to start touching on uncharted space. So I feel that's like a natural progression of where to go. But they just... And also, I feel like they're going to get back to that. Once they've totally trashed this show, once they've totally just beat it down, they're going to be like, now we're going to find, you know, his family. Now we're going to... But it's going to be too little too late. But like I said, I'm never going to abandon Star Wars. I've just been disappointed in it. I've never said I hate Star Wars. Star Wars is dead, blah, blah. Because again, why would you pray for, you know, like I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Do you think I'm happy? Do you think I'm happy when the Lakers don't make the playoffs? No, I'm like, you know, they can do better next season. Get this person, get rid of this person that keeps on getting injured. You know who I'm talking about. You know, things like that. I don't hope and I don't cheer for their downfall. It's so bizarre with these weird, like RK Outposts and stuff. They're just such, like, miserable losers. If there's something bad and something to criticize, do it. If there's something good, or if there's nothing there at all, shut up. Seriously, these cornballs. I don't get it. But, yeah, I would love to see everything Star Wars get back to its former glory. And I do think in the next couple years, I think there's going to be drastic changes. I do think Disney might consider selling them. Or at least bringing in people or having somebody in charge at Disney that actually knows what's going on. You know. But I do think Star Wars will return. And guess what? All you people that want Star Wars to die and don't like it, you're not welcome back. I speak for the Star Wars community. You are not welcome back. So, you know, sit there, be miserable, sell your coffee brand, coffee, whatever. You know. Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 7. Oh, also, real quick. Those Mandalorians that were on that pirate ship, those are Mandalorians. Not the pretty boy Mandalorians that are allowed to remove their helmets, although as much as I love Sasha Banks, no. No. You know what I'm saying? That's the Abercrombie and Fitch Mandalorians. I don't recognize them. But the ones that were on the ship, that's what I'm talking about. When I was criticizing the whole Abercrombie and Fitch Mandalorians last review, that's what I'm talking about. Give me the pirate ship ones. Pause. That sounded real iffy and wide open. Pause. But you know what I'm talking about. That just seems realer to me. In a totally imaginary universe, that seems the realest to me. 0 to 10 dog bones. See, that's the problem. I was like fully bracing myself to have extreme cringe. Like I was bracing myself so that I didn't like fracture a vertebrae from getting the douche chills so bad. So once I realized it was good, I was able to start watching it and enjoying what was going on screen. You know? So it's kind of weird to give this one a rating. Also, just having Mando get captured. Why not have Bo-Katan get captured? Why not? And then have her drop the dark sword, the dark saber. Have Mando pick up the dark saber, and while he's going to save her in the next couple episodes, he actually can use it, and it's not all heavy and awkward like it's been for him. You know, and then show Baby Yoda in action with his new mech droid, all that. Why not just, you know, it kind of writes itself there. Whatever, 0 to 10 dog bones. I'll give it a 7. Because if it wasn't for that previous, how bad the previous episode was, I'd be totally into this. Totally into this. Also, what is, with Jon Favreau's Mandalorian, what is up with that tiny helmet? Pause. What is up with that? It's so distracting every time they show his character on screen. I'm like, does he even have a head? Is he just like a headless body with just a robot head on there? Because I don't... How do they... What kind of optical, you know, sorcery are they pulling with that? It just... I don't know. It's really distracting. And I'm glad his character's dead. And it was cool to see the Royal Guards. Which makes me hope that Luke pops back up. Or at least Ahsoka. To do some battle with him. Because what's the first thing you think when you see them? You think of the throne room fight. And I don't care about these people slowing the throne room fight down. Talking about, look at this guy over here. Look at this guy. Shut up. Just shut up. I don't... You can nitpick anything. I was watching 2001 A Space Odyssey. And there was things that I could sit there and nitpick at. Especially with the, you know, the beginning with the... You know, with the cave ape people or whatever. You can sit there and nitpick anything. So just stop. I don't want to... You're just a lame ass. I don't... Enough. 0 to 10 dog bones, 7. That's what you get. This is your boy Winston Wolf.